Hi guys, and welcome to this week's video. I've got a bit of a sweat on already, bit of a huff and a puff. I'm going to what's known locally as a secret waterfall. If you're local here, if you come up this way quite often, you'll probably know exactly where I'm going or exactly where I'm heading to. If you don't, stick around and enjoy the view. Look at that, and that ain't it. Ho, 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 ho. How spectacular is that? And guess what? That ain't it either. And that's why I played the dramatic music. That is a stunning, stunning waterfall. Let's do the obligatory selfie. Whenever you come to a waterfall like this, it's great to maybe think about grabbing an abstract shot. And what I'm going to do is just zoom in really tight to the waterfall, and I'm going to frame just a chunk of the waterfall and play around with shutter speed. That's all I'm going to do. They just make nice desktop backgrounds, or they just make nice prints. got as many shots as I feel I want at the top. So now I'm going to go further away and try and capture these other waterfalls that are lower down. Slight issue is when you go slightly lower down, you'll now lose the surface. I mentioned that earlier. You'll lose the surface of the bottom of the main waterfall. Having said that though, this looks pretty spectacular. Look, I have a problem. Let me explain the biggest problem I have when photographing waterfalls. It's not a problem that I'm causing. It's a problem by, well, the situation is when you photograph waterfalls is there's usually a very high contrast. Oh, maybe I should get to the bottom and then start talking. There's usually a very, very high contrast between the sky, as you can see there, and the wall of the waterfall itself. And that always causes a problem. It's a problem you fix with either filters or multiple exposure, or just zooming in tight and trying to avoid the sky altogether. I mean, look at this now. Look, these behind me here, they're the lower waterfalls, and that's the higher waterfall above. But now I have to make a conscious decision about composing this image, because it's all too simple just to like stay here, for instance, and compose the image like it is now. But then you can't really tell where the back waterfall is and the front waterfall is. The waterfall in the background compared to the waterfall in the foreground. So it's always good practice to maybe separate them somehow, or look for something of foreground interest down here that I can have as foreground interest and use the whole of that waterfall in the background as background interest itself. A good challenge. You've captured a nice image, so now let's make it great. Join my members only club for £6.99 a month. That's less than a half decent bottle of red wine, and you'll gain from these benefits. I like the lower part of the waterfalls because they split in two, and that is very interesting, so I could possibly use that as foreground interest on its own. I've got a dead tree, I could use that as foreground interest, or of course I could use maybe some of this water here as foreground interest. So as much as I said it's a problem, well no, the problem really is the sky. So this is really quite exciting. I've got a lot to play around with. Do you know what? I might even do another selfie from down here, because I imagine me stood up there will look quite spectacular. I always look good from a distance. Have you ever noticed that? End of the day, shattered. This place is so much better than I anticipated. It really, really is good. And there's opportunity after opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. It just goes on and on. But I've decided to call it a day I think I've got more than enough for my very first visit here, and after all, it's always good practice to leave a little something for tomorrow. I'll definitely come back here again, pretty much any time of the year. What a stunning place. So, just want to say thank you very much indeed for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, do me a favour, help support the channel. Give me a thumbs up, and if you think the content is worthy of it, then subscribe as well. And apparently I'm supposed to tell you to click that little notification bell. Till the next time, cheers.